Good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Alan Matthew, and I'm here with a weather update. I want to talk about the severe weather for tomorrow, Sunday. Now, tomorrow is expected to be the first day in a string of 2 or 3 days where we're expecting some sort of severe weather. Now, I won't go as far as to call this an outbreak, and I certainly won't liken it to the super outbreak of April 27th, 2011, which tomorrow just happens to coincidentally be the 3-year anniversary. Now, there's a lot of danger in comparing and contrasting and making the two events similar, because in reality, no two weather events are exactly the same. But for some people, this could certainly feel a lot like April 27th if a tornado should strike their community. Now, I want to go through this graphic here. Here we have the different areas of risk. The red is the high risk. The orange is the elevated risk. And the yellow areas highlighted are the limited risk. Now, this is as produced by the NWS in Jackson, Mississippi. I agree with their assessment of the situation. I believe that the highest area of threat for us in Mississippi tomorrow will be in the Mississippi Delta region, and particularly in extreme northwestern Mississippi. Now, some of the locations that I mentioned in my last blog post, I'm still very confident in those locations. And some of those locations included Clarksdale, Mississippi, Greenville, Mississippi, Greenwood, Olive Branch, South Haven, Senatobia, Cleveland, Holly Springs, Oxford, Batesville, Grenada, Mississippi, and I've been toying back and forth with Yazoo City, and I do believe Yazoo City should be included as well, just based upon some of the more recent model data that I've looked at. Memphis, you're also in this area of risk as well. Now, the good news in terms of location is that the parameters for severe weather really seem to come together better over Arkansas. That's not good for the folks in Arkansas, but for the Mississippi Delta, that is kind of good, and especially that is good for us here in the GTR. But those of you living in the Delta or who have friends in the Delta, you're still at a very good risk to see severe weather tomorrow. And, okay, when? When is this going to happen? Well, particularly during the mid-afternoon hours is when we expect storms to initiate. Sometime around 3 p.m.-ish to 4 p.m.-ish, we could see storms starting to initiate and move into the Delta and impacting your area. So definitely by tomorrow afternoon, you need to be plugged in to a weather media outlet, your local news station or something. Preferably, you would have a weather radio that is programmed and battery operated that will take you through this event. Otherwise, make sure your cell phones are fully charged, because it seems as if the cell phones are always the first thing to go down, and power is always the first thing to go out in any type of severe weather scenario. So make sure you have a way to access information. The next thing you need to do, you need to make sure that you have a safety plan. Now, I want to take you to this next graphic. This is tornado safety tips. Now, this is not to frighten you or scare you to death, but you should have a plan like this in place if necessary. Now, obviously, the thing you would want to do is get on the lowest floor of the building that you're in. Hopefully, you would put yourself in a sturdy building, not a mobile home. Mobile homes are not safe. You would fare better in a ditch if there was low amounts of precipitation than you would in a mobile home. Just keep that in mind. You want to be on the lowest floor, and you want to put as many walls between you and the outside environment as you can. Specifically, you want to be in a very small interior space, like a closet or an interior bathroom. Those places seem to fare the best in a tornado situation. No windows, absolutely no windows, should be present. And you want to make sure that you take measures to protect yourself. Cover your head. Put on a baseball helmet, a football helmet. Put pillows around your head. Whatever you need to do, if that's necessary, shield your head from any kind of potential damage if it should happen. Again, make sure you're in a sturdy place. And never try to outrun a tornado in a car. Shelter in a sturdy place. Do not take shelter under a highway overpass. That's not a good place. Now here's a summary of the events that we're expecting. Of course, this is just the first round of several rounds that we're expecting. Now, I do not want to comment on the specifics of round 2, which would be on April the 28th, Monday. Now, that one has got a lot of folks more concerned, but we really don't know what's going to happen with that secondary round until we see and experience what happens with the first. The second round very much so is dependent upon what happens with the first, and likewise the third. So I want to leave it at there and just have you guys know what the situation is going into tomorrow evening. Now, with all that said, I hope that you all have a wonderful Sunday, and I hope that you will stay weather alert and safe, especially if you live in the Mississippi Delta. Again, I'm meteorologist Alan Matthew. Have a great night. God bless.